Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live. Think we got the mic working today. That's always a good thing, always a good start. And speaking of good starts, and the Rangers off to another good start today against the Royals, and Max Scherzer dominating. And his first game back from the injured list was absolutely amazing to see that kind of effort from him. First game back, season debut. Max Scherzer was excellent today for the Rangers. And that was a big reason why the Rangers were successful and were able to get the series win and the win today. And we're going to get into everything about today's game in just a little bit, all of the key moments, highlights, little details, box score, all that good stuff. Of course, here at Right on Rangers, we cover everything sports, y'all, but we put a little bit of an extra emphasis on all the teams we love from the great state of Texas, including the Rangers and especially the Rangers during baseball season. Whether you're watching live or whether you're watching on the replay, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. So let's get into it. So today, Max Scherzer on the mound had a few rehab starts in AAA, and it was a little bit of a mixed bag, I would say, for Scherzer down at AAA. He did have some good starts. He had some starts where he got hit around a little bit. Personally, just being real, I wasn't sure what to expect out of Max today. I wasn't sure if we were going to get a dominant performance like today, or if there were going to be some runs put up on the board, maybe a little bit of rust, and maybe a little bit of nerves. I know Scherz has been in the league for a long, long time, but first time pitching in the big leagues this year, you just never really know what to expect in these kinds of starts. And Scherzer, just from the beginning, looked like his usual self, dominating baseball games. Max Scherzer actually was perfect through 4 innings, I believe, today before a double to start the top of the 5th inning. So 4 perfect innings out of Scherzer. His final stat line: 5 innings pitched, 1 hit, no walks. That's huge. No walks, 4 Ks. Just a beautiful stat line from Max Scherzer. Absolutely beautiful. So for Max to come out and do what he did, set that tone in a game where, as we talked about last night on the live, this was a game where the Rangers really could take advantage of the pitching matchups. Alec Marsh going for the Royals today in his last start was roughed up by Oakland. 7 earned runs in 3 innings pitched for Kansas City starter Alec Marsh, who we faced today. And the Rangers, I wouldn't say really got to him. I think he only ended up giving up 3 earned runs in almost 6 innings. So nearly a quality start for Alec Marsh. But this was a game, I talked about it last night, where you really expected the Rangers to do well and take advantage of the fact that you weren't facing the aces of this Kansas City Royals staff. So you had some fortuitous matchups. This was a game the Rangers absolutely could win coming into it. And it was definitely a good thing the Rangers got this sweep, considering the competition that they're going to be facing later on this week. Of course, the Rangers are going to hop on a plane here in a little bit, head to Milwaukee for a tough 3-game set with the Brewers. Then they're going to get on a plane after that Brewers series and go to Baltimore for a tough 4-game set with the Orioles, one of the best teams in baseball. So the Royals were definitely a good team coming into this. We're not trying to play it off like the Royals were some slouch team that you needed to just go ahead and rub their faces in the dirt. They're a good quality baseball team, but you felt like there was blood in the water, so to speak. Rangers had won the first 2 games. You've got some tough games coming up. Absolutely great that the Rangers were able to take advantage and get the sweep today, considering the matchups that they have coming up next. What's up to everybody, by the way, tuning in on TikTok? Appreciate y'all tuning in. And everybody on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Appreciate y'all tuning in live as well. We're going to get to comments here in just a sec. But hello to all of you. Thanks for tuning in live. Appreciate the support. If you're not following already, you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that follow or subscribe button. Stay up to date every time we go live. Keep up with all our latest and greatest content. I would greatly appreciate it. So let's talk about some of the key moments in this one. And naturally, that'll progress into looking at some of the box score. So Wyatt Langford, of course, who else would it be? Wyatt Langford doubling to start off the scoring in this one. Pretty key moment, bottom of the fourth inning. We had runners, I believe, that were on first and second. Doley scored quite easily. The ball didn't quite make it to the fence. It was cut off nicely by the center fielder. So we had Nate Lowe stopping at third base on that Wyatt Langford double. Of course, anything in the gap, whether it gets cut off or not, with Wyatt Langford's speed, he's getting to second base. I mean, that's just a foregone conclusion. But that made it 1-0. And then there were a couple of very disappointing at-bats in that bottom of the fourth inning. Zeke Duran came up immediately after that Wyatt Langford double. You had runners on second and third, nobody out. And Zeke Duran grounds out. Royals had the infield in. Bobby Witt checked the runner, makes a good play to first base. And then Andrew Kisner pops out to second base. Right idea, getting the ball in the air. But Andrew Kisner pops out. Obviously, you're not going to advance any runners doing that. Leote comes up, and Leote, it's going to look like 110-mile-an-hour line drive in the box score. But honestly, Leote gets a little bit of a lucky hit, but we will take it with 2 outs because it sure was looking like the Rangers were on their way to putting up 0 runs after that Wyatt Langford double when you had runners on second and third and nobody out. So for Leote to come in, salvage the inning by getting a couple of runs there, absolutely huge. So Leote, 2 hits tonight. I've said, and I know that I put out a video earlier in the week. I was a little bit hard on Leote, but I said if you can just get 1 hit out of him a game, you'll take it. I don't need my 9-hitter going multi-hit every other day. Can I just get a 250 average from my 9 spot? If Leote can do that, I think that the Rangers are in good shape. Now, I do think that as we get into a season, or the season, I should say, in this 162-game season where everybody's healthy, I don't know if Leote's going to be the everyday guy anymore. I think that they're going to start going to Evan Carter more and more. The future is Langford, Carter, Doley. I don't think anybody disputes that. Leote, I think, is going to be a nice player that the Rangers will be able to have for depth. But I think when Evan Carter gets back, unless he is just still absolutely tanking, I think Carter's going to come back and do a nice job and hopefully take over the center field spot. Carter's logged over 1,000 innings in the minors in center field, got the speed for it. I think that is going to be the play eventually, but a great day from Leote today. Anytime you can get multi-hits from Leote Taveras, you will take that every time. And I'm glad to see after that home run, Leote, I think he went 0 for last night, but by and large, getting hits, getting on base, that's great to see. Now, let's go ahead and let's take a look back at the scoring and how all the runs were put forward. We got Taveras obviously driving in the 2 in the bottom of the fourth inning to make it 3-0. Then Josh Smith, I believe that one was a little bit later on in the game, 7th or 8th inning. Josh Smith, bottom of the 7th, hits a home run in back-to-back games. Career high 7 home runs for Josh Smith this season. That man just continues to rake. It just does not matter. 102 miles an hour off the bat, kind of a no-doubter when he hit it. Josh Smith belongs in the All-Star game. I did my part, voted him in earlier today. I'm going to keep voting for him. I know that there's some third basemen out there with some more home runs than him, but I think collectively, Josh Smith, everything he brings to the table, the average, the OPS, he's hitting a little bit of a power surge right now. I think he belongs. Kind of crazy. They took away the manager's ability this year in the All-Star game to add players. I think MLB is making all those decisions. Really unfortunate because, of course, Bruce Bochy managing the AL team this year. It would have been really easy in past years for Boch to just go ahead and add Josh Smith himself. The managers in the past got to pick whoever they wanted that wasn't selected by the fans, usually guys that are deserving, but maybe don't have the name, kind of like a Josh Smith type, right? Doesn't have a lot of MLB league-wide notoriety, especially among the fans. So in the past, Bruce Bochy would have been able to add Josh Smith. Now it goes into the hands of MLB. We'll see if they deem Josh Smith to be deserving, but I sure am going to do my part and vote for him. Josh Smith absolutely belongs in the All-Star game. Just what he's done collectively, You look at the other third baseman. Yes, there's guys with more homers, more RBI, but Josh Smith is up there. He's got, I think, the best batting average among third basemen in the American League, best OPS among third basemen in the American League. That's not insignificant. It's not insignificant. Yes, the home runs, the RBI, not quite as high, but I believe he belongs there. Josh Smith having an outstanding first half, probably the best stretch of his career. And considering just the context of everything, you're having to fill in for Josh Young, obviously a very, very good third baseman, an elite third baseman in the league. You came into the season expected to be a bench player, a role player. Mentality had to change completely. And I've said it so many times on these lives, but where would we be as a team? Where would the Rangers be without Josh Smith and what he's been able to produce? I don't want to know. Josh Smith has been a key cog to the Rangers staying around 500 despite all these injuries. And that's the scoring for today. We'll do a little bit of a deeper dive into some of the other guys. There's a few other notable players to talk about, just going through the box score. Let me check this out, though. Let me check out some comments here. What's up, Frankie? If you're still around, bud, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Didn't we talk about this the last time? I don't know if Juan Soto's staying in New York, but we'll see. Hope the Rangers sign him, but I don't think that's going to happen considering how much the Rangers spent in this offseason. Hope to be wrong. Orioles are the worst team in baseball. Yeah, I don't know if I'd say that. I hope they play like it this weekend, though, when we face them. Will Langford play center, or will he DH or be given the day off if Smith plays left once Young comes back? Bochy said he will play all over in an interview. I can imagine Josh Smith. I mean, if I'm Bochy, if I'm the coaching staff, I'm trying to get Josh Smith as many reps all over the field as I can. I think last year, I might be making this up just off the fly, but I'm pretty sure Josh Smith did play a few games in the outfield. I don't think it's a totally uncomfortable spot for him. Obviously, he's an infielder by trade, but I think that they're going to try and just get him in wherever. I would imagine he's going to slide in as the primary DH. Maybe with Josh Young, you're easing him back in next week. You're giving Josh Young some DH. Let Josh Smith play third base. I would imagine that's kind of how it's going to be. Probably letting Josh Smith mostly handle DH opportunities, spelling Josh Young at third base occasionally. Maybe spelling Corey Seager at shortstop occasionally if Siegs needs a day off or needs to DH. That's kind of what I imagine for Josh Smith. Obviously, he's not going anywhere, but the Rangers would be wise to get him some reps all over the field. He doesn't seem to be a guy that gets psyched out by playing different positions. I mean, I'd be interested to see the splits. So what I mean by that is, how well does he hit when he plays shortstop? How well does Josh Smith hit when he plays third base or when he DHs? I mean, I'd be interested to see if there's a pattern there. Off the top of my head, it doesn't feel like it, but you never know. So maybe I can do a deep dive on that at some point, but Josh Smith is going to figure out a way. They're going to figure out a way, I should say, to get Josh Smith in the lineup every day. Can't take his bat out. You just can't. Beyond that, everybody else, let's go Rangers. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Let me go ahead and head back to the box score here. There's a few other notable things that I think are worth talking about. Obviously, I always go back and forth when I'm prepping for my shows. When the Rangers win, it's awesome. It's amazing. But we want to do some deep dives into some other things too. We don't want to be too negative, but we want to address some things that we took notes on during the game here. First of all, let's just go top to bottom. Semien 1 for 5, not a bad day for him. Seager 2 for 4, great to see him come back. I think he went 0 for last night, so to see him get a couple of hits, awesome. He had a double, extra base hit. Great to see that from Corey Seager. We talked about Josh Smith, 1 for 4 with the bomb today, 303 batting average. I think Dolly, better game from him. Look, you had a hit from Adolis today. You had a walk, so he's on base twice. I think last night, for those of y'all that were watching last night post-game, I'm definitely at the point where, Dolly, I don't know if he's back The past few games, he's done the 1-for-3 with the walk thing. I don't know if I would say Adolis is back. I wouldn't mind seeing them tweak the lineup a little bit, maybe move him down to 5. I'm sure they're probably going to ride him out in the 4th spot as long as he keeps doing stat lines like this. But Adolis, to me, just not quite back yet. I don't know. It's just a feel thing for me. You just don't get the feel that he's quite back yet. Missing fastballs. I don't know. Fouling off pitches you should be driving. I'm just not sure that Adolis is all the way back yet. Wouldn't mind seeing him potentially move down to the 5 spot. Maybe you move somebody up like maybe a Nate Lowe type. Nate Lowe has been on a really good clip here the past 7 games. I don't know. Obviously, Nate Lowe's power numbers aren't there, but Adolis hasn't been hitting home runs either. Nate Lowe, though, 292 his last 7 games, very respectable. I think he had 2 hits today, if I'm not mistaken. So Nate Lowe swinging a better bat. Again, I don't know if there's a perfect fix. I think when Josh Young comes back, you could easily go Smith 3, Young 4, and flip it depending on lefty-righty. That's what I would like to see. But I don't know how much pressure they want to put on Josh Young right away when he comes back. But I'd actually kind of like to see Josh Smith 3rd against righties, Josh Young 4th against righties. And then when there's a lefty on the mound, go ahead and just flip it. Josh Young can hit 3rd. Josh Smith hits 4th. And then you have Dolly hitting 5th, Nate Lowe 6th, and so on and so forth. Or you put Langford 6th. I think that might make a little bit more sense. If Langford keeps hitting this way, I imagine they're probably going to move him up, maybe into the 5 spot. I said the past couple of nights, I'd really prefer for them not to mess with Wyatt Langford at this point. Keep having him play left field. Keep having him hit 6. I like it. But I think if he continues this hot hitting, they're going to want to move him up. For me, can you just not move him up to the 3-hole spot? I think that's a lot of pressure for a rookie. I'm not saying that he can't do it. I'm not saying that Wyatt Langford isn't game to hit 3-hole, but I'd just like to see him stay in that 5-6 range. I think that's ideal. Less pressure. Allow for him to just be in that comfortable position where, yes, you're going to be hitting with runners on base, but you're not protecting Corey Seager. That's a big task. So I hope that Wyatt Langford sticks right around the 5-6 spot. I imagine he's going to move up a little bit, though, if he keeps hitting like this and producing like this. Beyond that, Zeke Duran got a little start today. 0-for-3 for him with a walk. Andrew Knizner, don't know why they continue to give Knizner at bats. I know Evan Grant, Dallas Morning News, Rangers reporter, I think he tweeted out the last Knizner start, basically like, why are people so up in arms about Knizner? Backup catchers rarely matter when it comes to winning a World Series. And I do get what he's saying, but I will say this. There are other guys that could be catching in a backup role for the Rangers. Sam Huff, not a huge Sam Huff fan. We've kind of seen what we can get from Sam Huff. I really don't think the light is suddenly going to turn on with him. Would love to be wrong, but I think we've gotten enough of Sam Huff. A guy that I would like to see them try out that I've talked about multiple times on the show is Andrew Knapp. Veteran guy down at AAA. He's hitting right around 300. Why not? I think Knizner, though, I don't care about the much improved defense. Can we get a guy that has a chance up at the plate? Jonah Heim obviously is going to be the Rangers' primary catcher, but it gets frustrating with the Knizner starts. You just know you're getting absolutely nothing up at the plate. I mean, Knizner had a prime opportunity. You got runners on 2nd and 3rd, 1 out in the 4th, and all you can manage is a little dinky pop-up to the second baseman. He struck out twice tonight. I'm just kind of over Andrew Knizner. I don't care about the much improved defense. I know they were trying to pump that up in the at least Rangers media, how much he's improved since the beginning of the year. I kind of made the point a few nights ago whenever he last started with Knizner. Why did you sign a guy that you knew was a liability up at the plate and needed to be much improved on the defensive side? Why'd you sign him? The only thing I can think of, and I said it last week and I'll say it again, I know Knizner and Maddox kind of worked together in St. Louis, if I'm not mistaken. Andrew Kisner spent a few years with the Cardinals. Mike Maddox, obviously, his last gig was the pitching coach for the St. Louis Cardinals. I can only imagine that's the reason. But for me, it needs to not be a good reason for him to keep getting at bats any longer. Let Sam Huff take the ABs. I told y'all, not a huge Sam Huff fan. It's nothing personal. I just feel like he's gotten some chances. No, Sam Huff hasn't gotten like play 162 games at the big league level chances. But I just feel like you kind of know who Sam Huff is at this point. He's a quadruple A guy. He's going to do pretty well down at AAA. He's not going to do awesome at the major league level. I'd like to see Andrew Knapp get a shot. He's hitting 300 down at AAA. We're 60 games in. He's a veteran, 30 plus. I'll take Andrew Knapp at this point. I don't think Kisner needs any more at bats, but I'm sure they're going to keep going to him. I mean, they clearly like what they see from him. I would be surprised if they make a move, but I'm tired of seeing Andrew Kisner in the lineup. You just know you're basically getting nothing, and you're getting, if anything, a small drop-off for sure. I wouldn't even say small. You're getting a drop-off from Jonah Heim, and you're getting an even further drop-off with the bat. And that's saying something because Jonah Heim has not done much with the bat as of late. So Andrew Kisner, for me, would love to see somebody else get another shot beyond him. I agree with what Evan Grant and some of the other Rangers writers, reporters are saying. Like, how much does a backup catcher really matter in the grand scheme of things? It probably doesn't, but it just gets old watching literally just an empty black hole in the lineup in Andrew Kisner's spot. I'd like to see somebody else get a chance. All right, let's keep on moving. Let me keep going back, checking comments here. Eric, what's up, my friend? This is not a great day for me. I'm seeing you all and those H-Town folks coming. Yeah, Mariners. I'll tell you what, I'm surprised that the Mariners struggled against the Marlins. We're going to do our ALOS roundup here in just a little bit, go through all the scores from around the division. But I am surprised. The Rangers, though, are a team that plays down to the competition a lot. The Rangers did take care of the Marlins when we went to Miami a couple of weeks ago. But the Rangers do it too. They just sometimes play down to the competition. Maybe a little bit going on with Seattle doing that too. I don't know. I mean, the Rangers will take it. I'm sure Astros fans will take it too. Tommy, what's up, my man? It says, comment here says, I think Tavares was the player of the game with the 2 RBI. He secured the win. I think Leote had a great game. I think anytime you can get 2 hits out of the 9-hole spot, don't know if I would say player of the game, but if you're just looking at the box score, sure. If you're just looking at the box score, most RBI, I don't know if I would say player of the game. I think Leote's hit obviously was a very timely one. When you watch Duran, when you watch Kisner just totally soil the bed in their opportunities to get an RBI in with runners on second and third and 1 out. I mean, those were abysmal ABs. I'm glad Leote at least put the bat on the ball. But Leote's hit, was it a scorcher? Did he square it up? No. Was it kind of a fortunate bloop? Yes. So, look, you got to put the ball in play. Leote, I'm glad that he got a couple of hits today. For me, MVP of the game is the pitching staff over Leote or really any other Rangers offensive player. Give the MVP of the game today to Scherzer. Give the MVP to Urena. Urena pitched 4 innings of shutout baseball. Just listen to this absurd stat line. 9 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 walk. MVP of the day is the Rangers pitching staff. If you're going offensive, yeah, Leote, he's got the stats for it. The pitching staff went 9 innings, gave up 0 runs, and only allowed 3 base runners. I think the pitching staff has got to be the MVP of the game today. No doubt. No doubt in my mind on that one. Now, let's keep on going. Let's look at a few other things here, and then we're going to wrap things up. The runners in scoring position numbers for the Rangers was not pretty today. This game could have been a lot uglier in terms of a lopsided victory for the Rangers. Rangers go 2 for 12 today with runners in scoring position. Look, we gave the disclaimer. It's a win. It's a series sweep. The vibes are up. But we do spend a little bit of time breaking down a few troubling things. Nevertheless, Still, the runners in scoring position would like to see the Rangers, regardless of whether they're in a deficit or they have the lead, continue to tack on. This could have been a much more lopsided game. I think Urania was always going to just go the distance. I think whether it was a 6-0 game or a 7-0 game, Jose Urania was going to be in it for the long haul today. But still, it would be nice to see the Rangers tack on. 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position is not ideal. They wasted some opportunities today, but I think the more advanced stats here, runners left in scoring position with 2 outs. You had Adolis Garcia, Langford, Simeon, Seager had 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs that he left there. Smith had 1. So look, there were a lot of kind of big name Rangers today with opportunities with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, not getting it done. We'll take the win. We'll take the win. Personally, though, I would just still like to see the Rangers continue to add on late. Love the home run by Josh Smith. He has been incredible in this month of June. Same thing for Wyatt Langford. That 2 for 12, though, 9 runners left on base. Would like to see the Rangers continue to improve upon that. Let's go ahead, though, and let's start tracking things for this upcoming week. I think Josh Young probably going to be activated in the Milwaukee series, if I had to guess. That kind of seems like what things were trending towards. So hopefully we'll see Josh Young back for that series. We're going to go ahead and start looking at some of the pitching matchup previews. If they're available, it's likely that there's some TBDs not been announced yet. But let's see what I can pull up as we look at Monday's game for tomorrow. So as I said, Rangers are going to Milwaukee for a 3-game set, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 7:10 Texas time start tomorrow. Mike Lorenzen will be on the bump, and he will be opposed by Freddie Peralta. Freddie Peralta this year, 4.06 ERA. In his last 7 games, 4.58 ERA. So can't say Peralta has been sharp. Peralta is a guy that can get a lot of strikeouts, 48 strikeouts in 37 innings pitched. So coming off, it looks like a game against the Angels in his last start where he threw 6 innings, only gave up 3 hits, no earned runs, did get roughed up by Cincinnati in the start before that, 5 1/3, 10 hits, 6 earned runs. So a little bit of a mixed bag, 2 good starts, 1 good start, 2 bad starts in his last 3. So Peralta, I think, is going to still be a test for the Rangers. Can't say he's Alec Marsh levels of rough right now or rocky. Alec Marsh, of course, the KC starter today that the Rangers hit around a little bit. So Peralta going for the Brewers tomorrow. Mike Lorenzen for the Rangers. Let's look at the career numbers really quick. Don't think there's going to be a lot of career numbers for the Brewers against Lorenzen. Looks like Yelich has the most, 17 at-bats. But Yelich only hitting, I think, 1 or 2 for 17, 118 average and 17 at-bats for Yelich. And nobody else, except for Christian Yelich on the Brewers, has gotten a hit off Mike Lorenzen. It's a small sample size. Adames has 2 at-bats. Bowers has 1. Hoskins has 6. Sanchez has 1. Terang has 3. So look, it's a very small sample size. But Mike Lorenzen has pitched well in the limited number of at-bats that he has gathered against the Brewers. Now, on the other side, Rangers against Peralta. You have a few guys with pretty solid numbers, although the Rangers really only have had 1 game's worth of at-bats against Peralta. So you've got Jonah Heim, 1 for 2. Jankowski, 2 for 3. You've got Nate Lowe, 1 for 2. Looks like Siegs and Simeon are both 0 for 4 against Peralta. We've got Leote 0 for 2, Doley 0 for 3. So not a lot of numbers against either pitcher for either lineup. So we'll see what we get. Let's look at the Brewers, though, and what they're doing in terms of their last 10 games. I don't keep my eye on every team in Major League Baseball, admittedly, but we're going to go ahead, check out how the Brewers are doing of late. So we go to the standings. The Brewers have won 5 of their last 10, and I don't know if their game went final already today, but it does look like the game against San Diego is still live. Brewers are currently on a 3-game losing streak right now. They are beating San Diego right now 5-0, but the Brewers are not exactly coming into the series with the Rangers tomorrow scorching hot. I would say the Rangers are probably more in that category, or should be labeled more in that category, than the Brewers. Rangers on a little 4-game win streak. Brewers have won 5 of their last 10, and they're on a 3-game losing streak. Although it looks like they're going to break that today. They are in the bottom of the 5th inning against the Padres out in San Diego. Brewers are up 5-0 right now. So look, we'll see how things go in that series. Beyond Mike Lorenzen on Monday, I'm going to see if I can figure out who's going Tuesday, Wednesday. I think Evo on Wednesday. I think I caught that on the broadcast. Nate Eovaldi going on Wednesday for us. Tuesday's starter, we'll see who we got. Maybe Dunning. I'm just guessing right now. Andrew Heaney. Looks like Andrew Heaney on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, it will be, let's see if I heard correctly on the broadcast. Yes, Nate Eovaldi. And Brewers starter looks like it's TBD. So we'll see. So we got Lorenzen, Heaney, Evo. That's a pretty good 1, 2, 3. We'll see if the Rangers bats can join the party, but I like the pitching matchups. And then on Thursday, Rangers will start a 4-game set in Baltimore with the Orioles, a little ALDS rematch, of course. Rangers last year in October swept the Orioles out of the playoffs. That should be a fun series. Not completely, obviously, the same 2 teams that matched up. Few different guys, few guys that have moved on, but I think it'll still be a fun series out in Baltimore for us. I said at the beginning of the broadcast, the live last time, so yesterday, sorry about that, we would like the Rangers to go at least 4-3 this week. I think that's very reasonable expectations. Go 4-3. You're playing 2 really good teams, 2 of the best teams in baseball. Can we just go 4-3 this week? It's a tough back-to-back 2 series. 4-3, I think, would be great. If they can go 5-2, outstanding. Anything better than 5-2, your jaw's dropping, you're throwing your hands up in the air. This is amazing, right? But I'm hoping for 4-3 or better. I think the Rangers can do it. It would be ideal. Win 2 out of 3 against the Brewers. Split with the Orioles. It's always tough to win 3 out of 4 in a 4-game set. But can we get 2 against the Brewers and 2 against the Orioles? I think if the Rangers can do that, 4-3 makes a lot of sense. 5-2 would be phenomenal. It's probably going to entail winning 3 out of 4 in Baltimore or sweeping the Brewers, if I had to guess. So I'm not going to get too greedy. Give me a 4-3 week, and I'll be very, very happy. 5-2, I'll be ecstatic. Anything better than that, I'll be shocked and very, very grateful. So that is the outlook for the rest of the week for the Rangers. Let's go ahead now and let's take a look at scores around the AL West. So there's a few games that have gone final. There's a few that are still going. The Twins are leading 1-0 in Oakland, bottom of the 5th inning. And it looks like the A's are up to bat here with nobody out. We've also got, let me see, scroll, Astros beating the Orioles. So the Orioles kind of getting it handed to them in Houston. I think the Astros definitely won that series. Astros improved to 38-40. They remain a half game up on the Rangers in second place. Rangers in third place. The Marlins beat the Mariners 6-4, so the Marlins take that series. The Marlins beat the Mariners in 2 out of 3 games. Rangers and Astros will take it. I was not expecting 2 out of 3 for the Marlins to take. In fact, I was expecting a Mariners sweep with how well they've been playing, but we'll take the gift. And other than that, the Angels, where are they at? Angels. Are they off today? It's kind of one of those weird off days. I guess so. I am not seeing them anywhere here. So maybe one of those weird off days with the interleague play. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure what's going on there, but it doesn't look like the Angels are playing today. So the standings. And then we'll close things up. We'll go to the comments. We'll go to headlines around Major League Baseball, and we'll call it a day. So we've got Houston, second place, 6 games back, 5-game winning streak for the Stros. It's too bad that the Rangers and the Stros heated up just exactly at the same time. It is what it is. The season is still very young. You've got 84 games left in the year, almost at the halfway point. But actually, for the Rangers, it's 85 games left. Rangers are 6.5 out of first place. And in terms of a playoff spot, the Astros are 4 games out. Rangers are 4.5 games out. The Angels are 13 games back of the Mariners, 6.5 games back of the Rangers for third place. And the A's, 15.5 back of the Rangers in third place. So 9 games back total. 9 games back of the Rangers, 15.5 for first place. Whew, we got it. We made it through the numbers. So the Rangers in a good spot, right where they need to be. 4.5 games out with 85 games left, I believe. You'll take that. 85 games left, and you're 4.5 games out of a playoff spot. So you probably saw, just like I did, and I know I've ranted about this before, so forgive me if you've heard it, but we're going to keep saying it because silly Rangers fans keep telling, after every loss, keep telling us that we need to just go ahead and call it a day, call it a season, and just start looking forward to 2025. I don't even get me started. I'm going to try not to go on too long about this. There are 85 games left in the season, and the Rangers are 4.5 games out of a playoff spot. They just got Scherzer back. They're getting Josh Young back. They're going to get Cody Bradford back. They're getting Evan Carter back. You're getting Tyler Mahle back. DeGrom is coming back in August. I don't even understand the people that even said 4 days ago before this win streak to start looking ahead to 2025 and trade expiring contracts. Obviously, if the Rangers keep on being terrible and you're 10 games back in the middle of July or 10 games under 500 in the middle of July, yeah, you're going to be selling some players. But there's 85 games left. You're 4.5 games out of a playoff spot. This team is right in the thick of things. Who cares about the division? Is it nice that we moved up a little bit and we don't trail the Mariners by 10 games anymore? Yes. Do I think that the Rangers are going to win the West? If you had to nail it down and just make me make a decision right now, I'm saying no. I don't think the Rangers are going to win the West. If they do, I'll be very, very happy. It'll be great. But we all know as Rangers fans, it really doesn't matter. The Rangers didn't win the West last year and won the World Series. I could really care less if we win the West. It doesn't mean really anything to me. Can we just make the playoffs? Because we know when you get into the playoffs, you can get hot, go on an incredible run, and win it all. And that's all the Rangers need to do this year. That's all they need to do. So I'm hopeful. 85 games left, 4.5 games out. The Rangers are in a great position, getting a ton of players back from the injured list. You're going to see continually, if you're online like I am in some different fan groups and pages, I'm a part of a lot of really good groups, but you know how it is. In every group, there's the people after every loss that overreact. I think I can say, and y'all can check me on this one, it's pretty rare that you see me overreact. I don't think I've gotten onto one of these lives and said, sell everybody. This season's over. I don't think you've seen any dramatics like that from me. Now, you have seen me be realist. If we're 10 games below 500 and it's July, no, I don't think that we're in a good position, or I don't think we're going to be trading anybody or trading for anybody at the deadline. But I definitely never said burn it all down after one loss. Even when the Rangers were on that 5-game losing streak before this 4-game winning streak. So don't listen. You're going to hear some people chirping this week. The Rangers are probably going to drop some games this week to the Brewers and the Orioles. Hopefully it'll only be 3, but the Rangers are going to drop some games this week. If they go 7-0 and reel off an 11-game winning streak, I will be on cloud 9. But prepare for it. The Rangers are probably going to drop some games this week, and the sky is not falling when they do so. It's going to be all right. A lot of games left. 4.5 games out of a playoff spot. We'll take it. Now, let's take a look at headlines around the league, and then we will close things out for the day. Max Scherzer on the front page. Love it. Mad Max on the front page of MLB.com. Max matches legend in stellar season debut. So, for those of you that didn't catch it, Scherzer tied Greg Maddux for 11th place on the all-time strikeout list with his 3,371st punch-out while throwing 5 scoreless innings versus Kansas City in his first start of the year. So Scherzer pulls even with legend Greg Maddux in the all-time strikeout list. Awesome for Max. Couldn't have asked for a better debut from him. Incredible, incredible stuff from Mad Max. Now, latest news. Let's check out a few other things. Yankees traded for J.D. Davis to add corner infield depth. J.D. Davis, of course, played for the Mets, was out playing for Oakland, so Yankees trade for him. Max Fried, 6-frame gem against the Yankees. So Yankees had a tough series against the Braves. Let's see. We had Gray flirting with perfection for St. Louis. Cardinals ended up sweeping. Who did they play? The Giants. Yeah, swept the Giants. Talking about the Astros here as well. Astros actually swept the Orioles. Wow. That was not expected. I was actually thinking before that Astros-Orioles series, oh, good. The Astros are playing the Orioles. This should go well for Rangers fans. Kind of a crazy play. I don't know if you guys saw it. Justin Turner, I don't know if he was stealing second base or just going to second base, diving into it, but he was safe because his helmet came off as he was sliding head first, and his helmet actually provided a barrier between the glove and his chest, so he was safe because the helmet got in the way. Check out that play if you haven't seen it yet. It's pretty crazy. And not a whole lot else beyond that. The Blue Jays had, I believe, their number 2 prospect suspended for 80 games because of PEDs. Apparently, the Blue Jays' number 2 prospect was trying to take some fertility medication or supplement. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Him and his girlfriend, I guess, trying to start a family, was taking some kind of fertility supplement, and it triggered the PED test. So don't know how much you buy some of these stories. I don't know. I'm always like, how do you not know what you're putting into your body? If you're a major league player, any supplement you take, you got to be running through rigorous tests so you don't get popped. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying this full story, but it's kind of funny. I mean, anytime some of these guys come out and defend themselves, it is kind of crazy what stories come up. I'm not saying anybody's lying, but it is funny some of the stories that come out when guys test positive. I mean, what supplement it was, why they were taking it in the first place. Who knows, man? But that's the MLB headlines for today. Let me go ahead and check out comments for the last time, and then we are going to wrap things up for the day. So, comment from YouTube, I believe, actually Facebook. Check that. Tommy says, Scherzer seemed to have discomfort when he left. I don't know. It's hard to say. Max is kind of one of those guys that exerts full effort in every pitch. That's just how he throws the ball. I don't know. Maybe they'll come out with something. I think the plan was always to have him not go probably more than 5 or 6 innings. I'm sure he was on a pitch count. So not going to overreact, but I'll be interested to see how he recovers. Maybe the Rangers will give him 5 days off. Usually a pitcher goes 4 days rest in between starts. Maybe they'll have Max go 5. Who knows? But if anybody found anything out or heard anything about Max, I just thought coming out of the game, probably just on a pitch count, and it is what it is. And Max is just one of those guys, no pun intended here, that just goes max effort every time. So who knows? We'll see what happens, but I'm sure the Rangers are going to be delicate with him moving forward. Wouldn't be surprised if they give him an extra day of rest. All right. I think we covered everything. And before I close up, I know I said this at the beginning of the show, but if you're watching, along live or on the replay and you're not following the channel, the account, would greatly appreciate if you followed or subscribed. Keep up with all of our latest and greatest content. Get notified whenever we go live, which is usually after every Rangers game. We've been pretty consistent this year. We've missed a few games here and there, but we're trying hard, y'all, to go live after as many of these Rangers games as possible, win or loss. And hey, if you know somebody that loves Rangers baseball or loves baseball in general, because we talk a lot of Rangers, but we talk different stories around the league too at the end of every show. If you would, please share this account with them, share the channel with them, share this video or one of my shorts with them. I greatly appreciate it. It would mean a lot to me. Well, okay, y'all. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday and a good week ahead. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow after a Rangers win. That's the plan. Hope you enjoy the rest of this weekend. And as I always say at the end of every show, God bless. Go Rangers. Hope y'all have a good one and a good night ahead.